This is where amazing begins.
Welcome to Out of Habit, a train station podcast that gives you better brain habits, belief systems, and behaviors to get you to take charge of your autopilots. Join us for conversations that rewire how you survive, adapt, and live. My name is Karel Herrera, and today I have here with me a dear friend. Her name is Gloria Sicam. She is a communications expert, a corporate trainer, a senior trainer at Trainstation, an NLP practitioner, and a theater actress. We met in theater. So, ladies and gentlemen, Gloria! So, Gloria, the topic today that we're going to talk about is leadership amidst all the noise, amidst all the skepticism, and you know, between you and me as friends, we're quite passionate about, stories about politics, corruption, all of these things. And let's not get started on that. The thing is, how have you seen leadership in your experience as a trainer, and maybe an insight or two on how, how we can help these leaders maneuver through an environment that has no trust?
Well, in terms of skepticism, I think it's like extremes. So there's the ones who just think the world is done for and it's just horrible.
Yeah.
And then there's the other side, which is, hindi, good vibes lang tayo. Let's just be good vibes. Hindi, let's just, ano. So those are the extremes. And for me, neither one is healthy. Neither one is a healthy thing to have. Because, if you're going to be everything is gloom and doom, then why? Why even go to work, right? The other side is, if you're going to deny the negative, that's also not real.
Right.
So, and it's basically another way of, it's a denial. It's like, I'm facing it. May nangyayari ba? The other one is, hindi, good vibes lang tayo. We will not look at that. But then, the building's burning and it's still good. It's all good. So those are what I've seen. And basically, I've always been an advocate of, okay, so life sucks. What do you do? So life sucks. What now? It's not about ignoring the negative, because the negative is there. I'm going to acknowledge, yes, life can suck. Things don't get me started. Things suck. But there's a reason to get up in the morning. Because if we're gonna accept that life just sucks, then why do we even do anything? Why pa? End it na lang, diba? But I mean, that's my thought. So there should be that kind of hope, that kind of reality-based hope, and even a little bit towards hope siya. If we're going to acknowledge the negative, you also have to acknowledge the positive.
So you have many conversations with leaders out there, and there's a lot of pain going on when it comes to financial situations, economic, political, and you can be very opinionated when it comes to these things, right? Paano mo matutulungan ngayon yung leader when it comes to these things na hindi nila maapektuhan yung mga tao sa paligid nila, yung mga tao nila, kasi nakaka-influence sila, lalo na kung kunyari ay, yun na nga, ang daming nega na nangyayari. How do you help them figure things out?
Well, I think one good thing that we do in our trainings is we give them a space to actually experience it together and know they're not alone. Because me, as a facilitator, I don't like thinking too big a picture na parang, this is what I hope they will do when they go home, etc. I want to give them an experience at that moment so that they can carry it with them when they go home. Or it gives them a space to start it, something like that. So speaking of these pains, acknowledge them in training. Acknowledge them. We understand. We know that you're going through that because we go through it too. So we're not going to deny it. I'm not going to linger there, but we'll acknowledge that, because if it's not acknowledged, people don't move from it. And it's usually when things when people's points of view are not acknowledged, they stick there. Parang, no, you're not listening. You didn't hear me eh. Naghihirap ako. Ganon. And if someone tells you, Jesus, lahat naman tayo naghihirap. What are we gonna do now? Parang if you dismiss it, they're just gonna hold on to that.
Yeah.
So that's why I think the first thing we do in training is to really make them feel heard. Make them know, hey, you know what? We hear you. We're here for you. We're here together. Let's do this. You are heard. What you're feeling is valid. It's felt. Good. Now, let's help you get through it. Not past it, through it. Like, it's not about avoiding it. It's about saying, okay, you know what? Am I equipped to get through this? Or if I'm not, how can we help you be equipped? So, nagsalita na po ang ano.
Oo.
Gusto mo, na-support tayo. Sinuportahan kami. Sinuportahan kami ng Siri.
Oo.
Siri agrees that
Thank you,
we
Siri.
are.
Now shut up.
Oo. Pero in fair,
Wala kasi siyang Siri dahil Android yan.
ay, si Bixby ba yan? Sorry, hindi ko nakilala si Bixby. Sorry na. Baka kailangan Tagalog. But,
Shut up. Okay.
but that means what I'm saying works. Because nag-react yung AI. Kasi nga, it's that day. I think I've always been, I've always been so wary of people who are too rah, no, good vibes lang. Because I'm kind of like, no, life sucks. No, life sucks. You cannot ignore that.
Right.
But I'm not saying that we stay at life sucks.
Yeah.
But it starts with acknowledging. So that's what, it's acknowledging the pain for the leaders and then letting them know, you know what? There are things that we can do to get past it. Is it gonna be easy? Absolutely not. Is it painless? Absolutely not. But it's not about easy.
I think yun yung reason, kasi pareho tayong trainer.
Yeah.
Pareho tayo ng audience minsan. Like the two of us would be in the same space, sharing that stage. And I am the type of person who's going to go macro. I go the vision. I go inspire.
Yeah.
And I think that's why you work so well with me, because you take it to the reality. You take it to, sure, there's that.
Yes.
And at the same time, if it's hard to get there,
Yeah.
where you are is valid.
Yes.
And if you get accepted where you are, then we can take it one step at a time, even if it means clawing our way
Yeah.
through all of this mess.
Correct.
Now, one of the things that I love, we have these conversations and, mga discovery conversations natin. You research on something, you find out something, and you're like, Karel, did you know that I found this out? And we validated with the science that we know. One of the things that you brought to my attention that I loved was that the default of the brain is foe, not friend. The default of the brain is to not trust
Yeah.
before it trusts.
Yeah.
So in what is happening right now in the environment, maybe we can give an insight or two dun sa problem statement kung bakit nga ba pagka merong mga challenges when it comes to the war, the oil crisis, the politics, all of that, why is it that
It's just so useless. No, I mean, and I just want to say that there's already a lot of stuff that's happening that's necessary. Necessary crap. Crap will not be bleeped out, right? Crap is not a bad word.
it's fine.
It's fine. Bull crap, like that. But there is necessary crap.
Yeah.
And then there's unnecessary crap.
Yeah.
Where
That we don't
people,
need.
yun
Yeah,
nga na
yeah,
parang, I think I'll invade a country. I mean, it's not needed. Yun lang. Gusto ko lang magsabi. And that can be so frustrating for the brain. Kasi the brain is like, that's so unfair. Here I'm just living my life. That's so unfair. And so the brain really resists it.
Yeah.
And the brain starts mistrusting everything and everybody. So that's one part. But yes, what we were talking about, we were talking about
The problem.
the problem, why we don't trust right away. This is how I always start my trainings, and I always say, the brain is judgmental. We judge. We're judgmental. We judge all the
We're
time.
wired to be that
We're
way.
wired to judge. The moment you wake up, you think, wait, do I want to get up or not? Judge ko nga. Hindi, 5 minutes muna. The moment we wake up, we judge. Because the brain is constantly scanning the environment to see if it's safe or not.
Yeah.
It's like the most primal thing. So if you're gonna take away everything, really our default is not to trust. Because we have no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, you get a phone call and it's a number that has no label. Siyempre, scam yan. Scammer agad. What if, but what if it's, I don't know, your tita. Yun pa. Pwede rin ganon. But what if it's your tita who lost her phone, so she used her best friend's phone to call you because she needs you to pick her up? I mean, there's also that other way. But the brain will automatically think, no, that's a scammer, that's this.
Yeah.
Because the brain is constantly trying to protect itself. The brain is constantly trying to feel safe. And so, with music like that, we can even feel a lot safer. But I mean, that's what happens, everybody. Feel safer with music like that. See, that's why your ringtone should not be scary. Otherwise, you won't answer it.
have a ringtone na,
Yeah. Depends on who's calling, di ba?
My dad.
Ayan. Dati yung boss ko, mayroon ako mga ganyan. But yung sa boss ko before, never mind, you have no idea which boss I'm talking about. It will say, not you, promise, hindi. Wala na yung sa akin. It says, the idiot is calling.
Oh my God.
Never mind who that was. Tago na sa pangalang, nothing.
Well,
So, no.
I'm sure
but-
you're friends now. Okay.
Taas na gano'n. But ultimately, the brain is looking for somewhere safe. Somewhere safe. It's looking to be in a space where it feels like it can be okay.
Yeah. It's not going to be harmed.
Yeah. It wants to be, basically, yeah. That's why there's that term, safe space and all that.
True. That's why even if, what am I going to wear this morning? It's you're judging that based on, will I be judged? Will I be criticized for this outfit? Right? Or what will I ride? A Grab or mag-jeep ako? Baka ma-judge ako. Everything. Or baka safe ako. Baka mainit. Pag na-late ako, ma-judge. So everything is a judgment call.
Yeah, everything. And then, of course, kasama ang tao. You look at a person and think, ay, okay ba to? Kakausapin ba ako nito? Mukhang mayabang to. Mukhang masungit to.
And that's why hirap ang leaders.
Yeah, because leaders are dealing with that on 2 levels. One is they're judging others and they are being judged even more than others. And so leaders need to have an extra amount of awareness and mindfulness. This is why it's not easy being a leader. This is why not everybody can be leaders. They need to have that maturity to step away from themselves and think, am I the threat? Am I the one causing my team to not feel safe? They have to be big enough and mature enough to actually ask themselves that. Is it me? Is it me? Diba? Is it me you're looking for?
Kasi, minsan din, merong certain level of unfairness because a leader gets judged. May skepticism towards them kasi nga yung title mismo na leader. Ang dami ng kaakibat na expectations. You're expected to, di dapat alam niya. Bakit hindi niya sinabi? Dapat ganyan siya. Or leaders should be.
See, now there's an extra layer of impact versus intention. Na pwedeng, intention ng leader is to really be good. But the impact of what they did will not necessarily match their intention. And the impact includes everything that they think leaders should be. So, that's why whenever I train leaders, I always tell them, I don't blame you. I did not want to be a leader when I was going up the corporate ladder. I was like, are you kidding me? I don't need that stress. Which is why it makes me want to help them more. Because they're the ones who will be equipping other people. And how will they equip others if they themselves are not equipped?
So merong reward, of course. Like if I get to find that meaning in what I do as a
Yes.
leader, merong reward. Pero para siyang ano, no? Ang hirap ganunin, hukayin. Because we were talking about, we started with skepticism. We started with like a lot of all of that thing, all of those things we have to dig through
Yeah.
to get to that gold. You know, and it's hard because sure, meron kang increase na pay grade, but sometimes you wonder as a leader, is it
worth it?
is it worth it? You know, you've been with me for so many years. You know, we've had many discussions about this, and I think I go to you and I ask you, you know, and one of the para kang ano para kang kaibigan, objective na sounding board.
Yeah.
You know, and when maganda ka na mirror mo rin sa tao what they can think of or how they can think of things better. Kasi I don't think merong leader na gumigising sa umaga na sinasabi niyang, sana mabuisit lahat ng tao sa akin today, sana ma-misunderstand nila ako.
Yeah.
Diba? Intention. The
Yeah,
intention is not to do that. How do you help? What are the things that a leader should enforce as habits? Kasi we're talking about out of habits.
Yeah.
Ano yung mga habits na ginagawa ng leaders sa tingin mo, na nakikita mo in the environment, in your trainings, that they should get out of?
I think number one is leaders need to stop thinking that they need to know and do everything. Because they don't. They don't know everything. And they don't necessarily need to do everything. But why are they being paid the big bucks? Because in my mind, leaders need to have that kind of mindfulness to know when it should be them, or when they need to ask for help, or when they need to, you know, and to actually say, you know what, I really have no idea what I'm going to do here. I need you to tell me. Or have that kind of thing na, alam mo, parang people are not responding and I want to know if it's me. Yung ganun, that kind of thing. Realizing that, because too many times we think leaders have to be perfect. Ako yung leader eh. Kaya nga ako yung leader kasi ako yung may alam ng lahat. Not necessarily. You are, a leader is there because they're the ones that people trust to lead them. And that includes for the leader to recognize that someone else in the group might have the thought.
Yes.
And they will be the one to recognize that.
We were talking about judgment kanina, and I think that is the brain habit of everybody, not just a leader. You know, na parang it has a tendency to judge and immediately make conclusions. So, pwede na yung judgment call ng leader lagi is, ako na lang.
Yeah.
Kasi matatagalan pa. Or,
ako na lang.
or the habit na ako yung may pinakamaalam dapat. So, dapat lagi ako merong sagot. Right? So, if you're saying that a leader needs to acknowledge and have the humility, you're a communications expert and you love giving people tools on what they can say instead, what brain practices they can have whenever they have conversations with people.
Yeah.
What is a good, we call it heuristic, or a good way of thinking
Yeah.
for a leader when they feel that way? Pag sinabi mo na, ito yung habit nila, how do they build the better habit?
When they start to think, ako na lang.
Ako na lang, ako na to, or alam ko yan, you know, is there, I think, dalawang bagay yun, no? Pero, I hear you talk about these things in training, but if you were to share with people, what is a go-to way of thinking?
I think, and this one is something I use myself, is there something I'm not seeing? That's always what I know, especially if you're bothered, or if you're like, wait, this is weird, or something's not aligning. I always ask myself, maybe there's something I'm not seeing, because this is the judgment I'm having right now. But maybe there's something I'm not seeing. For example, parang, ay nako, itong taong to, hindi ako pinapansin. Ay nako, may problema ba to sa akin? Meron ba? Wait, is there something I'm not seeing? Am I not seeing that maybe they had an argument with someone 5 minutes before? Or maybe they saw something that I did that they misinterpreted. So I have one friend, and that's the person I talk to. I'm gonna tell you something. You tell me if there's something I'm not seeing. So maybe I think that's a good heuristic. Is there something that I'm not seeing here? And could you tell me what that is? It's the same vein as whenever I say to people, okay, right now I'm gonna be judgmental. Please tell me if you agree or if there's something that I can change with this judgment. Kasi di ba people usually say, okay, hindi sa pagiging judgmental ha, pero... And then you say something judgmental.
Yes,
I like to say, I'm gonna be judgmental right now.
And I'm gonna open the floor.
Yeah. Please tell me if there's anything that I'm saying that's unfounded.
Ganito ka na ba ever since? Like, the way you think, were you always the type of person who would pause and say, what is it that I'm not seeing?
No. No, not at all.
How do you train yourself to do that? Or how did you?
You know what's funny? I think I started getting trained by the corporate world. Because you know how the corporate world is always, you must reword. Like, as much as you would like to say, why haven't you responded to my email ang tagal? You will, right? You say stuff like, hi, here's a gentle reminder. May mga ganyan.
Okay, I like that. Yung mga, this is bad.
Diba? Yung mga, when they send something to you and you're like, yeah, this sucks. Ang pangit niya. Parang, diba? But
That's why I like AI. Because I can go, I don't like this.
Yes, and then they'll accept it. They'll accept it, right? I'll be like, no, that's bad. Oh, I apologize. What can, diba?
I know, right?
But in the corporate world, you have to reword things. You can't say, for example, someone says, oh, the results didn't happen. And it's because someone didn't submit it. So you're not gonna say, for example, hindi kasi sinubmit ni Sam. You can't say that. So you will say, that's because the results from blah, blah, blah were not given.
Yeah.
So I think that's when I started learning that I have to pause to think of how to put my words together. And then I think it was when I started joining, I did NLP, and we learned about perspective, and we learned about, and I realized, wow, there's a lot of things that I might not be seeing. And here I am already making shortcuts. Because the brain likes making shortcuts. Oh, the brain loves making shortcuts kasi ayaw niya mapagod. Yeah. Ayaw ng brain
lazy.
mapagod.
It's wired lazy.
Sabi ni brain, masyado malayo yan, dito na lang. That's why we can have 1,000 clothes in our closets and we will choose the same outfit over and over because that's the shortcut we're used to. So I think it's the same way with everything. That mas shortcut to. But yeah, you have to realize, wait, did that shortcut just cut out so many other things? And so that's why I always ask myself, is there something I'm not seeing?
And in doing that process, did it help you?
Definitely. Because it's so easy.
Pero kasi yun parang the pain and the pleasure between that effort to think about it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Default, right? Parang, is it worth that ride? That extra step?
Depends on the time of day. No.
True.
I think one of the things I give myself, I grant myself, or I indulge a blatant reaction. Really, I tell myself, this sucks. This is horrible. Or, for example, this person's annoying. I will grant myself that. But it doesn't mean that they're annoying forever. That moment, they're annoying. At that moment, they're annoying. But that doesn't mean I hate them. It doesn't remove that this person is my workmate or this person is my friend.
I like that. Yeah. So the first step is the permission to express.
Yeah.
Permission to feel.
Definitely. Because if you deny that, then that's when there's more effort. Right. Because the brain is pulling back.
Right.
So I give myself that permission to be like, parang, ay, tanga-tanga naman ito. But in my head, or to my best friend, or something. Or sometimes even my best friend annoys me. But that doesn't remove the fact that she's my best friend. I can be annoyed at my coworker, but that doesn't mean I'll never work with them again. Because at that moment, that is the impact on me. But later on, I might find out, oh, that's what you meant.
So from that permission, you now go to the, okay, so what am I not seeing? Because your brain feels safe.
Yes.
Okay, so when we talk about skepticism, all the noise, all the negative.
I don't know what a negative.
Negativity.
It's a negative t-shirt ba? Negative. Kapatid ng manatee.
A negative tea. Negative tea. So the negative things that are happening, I think the permission na sure rant, sure cry, sure break down. And then
what? Yun. Ang ano ko is, ayoko naman na forever ka na sa complain. Huwag ka naman forever sa pag-vent. Kasi, and now what? You're spending so much energy venting. O tapos, lang gagawin. So, I also, parang may limit din yun. It's like, okay, yep, I think I've vented enough. Let's do something about it. And maybe that means on that day, I say, all right, I'm going to talk to this person tomorrow. Or, you know what? I'll forgive this one and let's move on. Yung ganun ba? Kasi I don't want to say we're only human because that's actually another thing. It is because we are human that we can do a lot more. When people react and say, I'm only human, let me react. No. No, you are human. That's why you're capable of a lot more. My dog is a dog. So therefore, I cannot tell my dog to say, huy, mag-isip ka. Because my dog doesn't have that capacity. But humans do. I can't tell my dog, uy, don't bark ha. Kasi yung mga kapitbahay magigising. Sa tingin mo, may capacity siyang isipin yun? Of course not. But humans do. But I understand that maybe in that moment, you won't. So you can't. Or maybe the brain is having a hard time doing that. And that's when you just... And that's why not everyone can be leaders. Because not everybody has this kind of space and capacity to train their brain for it.
Now, as a friend, and you being in my space, seeing me, and other leaders out there, what is your advice to people like me, other leaders as well that you see around you, when they are going through stuff? Because I think that doesn't absolve.
Not at all. Not at all.
And I think a lot of the leaders have that notion na, I have to be stronger for everyone else.
Yeah.
But there will be many moments when the leader is not.
Yeah. One thing I will say, and I told you this, acknowledge that part of yourself. Acknowledge that need. Acknowledge that that's part of who you are. That darkness or I'm not going to say weakness, but maybe sometimes the sadness.
Frailty.
Oh, yeah, the frailty. That's part of it. Accept that and know that it's part of this bigger thing that is you. But that's not all that you are. Just like leadership is not all that you are. You're not just a leader. You are that entire being. And sometimes there's parts of our being that need to be acknowledged. So go ahead and acknowledge that.
I'm also a child.
You're also a child.
I'm also
You're a mother. You're a
sister.
You're a sister. You're a friend. You're a woman.
It's just that
You're
you
a
practice
person.
I practice being a leader more.
Yeah.
That's why I have put on that hat.
Correct. And perhaps that's the hat you're most familiar with. But there's so many other hats that are still you. So I think it's about acknowledging that part of yourself all the time. Knowing that that's who you are. And parang befriending it ba? Befriend it. Like, you know what? You're part of me. And what from that part of me can I use in my leadership? Right? You know, like if I'm going to take care of that part of myself, then that means I know how to take care of other people as well. If I'm going to allow myself to be filled up, then I can acknowledge that other people need that as well. So I think it's that day. I think it's being able to recognize different parts of yourself and knowing it's part of one big wonderful thing.
I think what I'm getting also from you is that in the middle of all the noise, it's not that you're shutting it all down like shh,
Yeah.
shh, 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 shh.
Yeah.
It's not that, but hey, what are you trying to say?
Yeah.
You know, is this thing important to me? If not, step back a
Yeah.
little. Later ka na.
Yeah, exactly. I have an image of my brain, and it's really funny. The image of my brain is it's a doctor's waiting room. It's a doctor's waiting room, and I'm inside. I'm inside the ano. And then sometimes there are, I call them monsters, but some of them are cute. Some of them are cute monsters. Some of them are scary monsters, but they're all waiting in the waiting room. And sometimes they are very patient. They'll sit there in the back. They'll wait their turn. They're not yet, alam nila hindi pa sila, it's not yet their time or it's not as important. So they'll stay there. So every now and then I will go and acknowledge, but yeah, okay, you're good pa there. And then there are those that are very loud and want to be spoken, want to get in. So, I go, okay, sige, come in, one at a time though. Ganun. That's how my brain is sometimes. And sometimes I have to also look, teka, malaki ba yung office ko ngayon? Kasi parang kung maliit lang yung office ko, dyan na muna kayong lahat.
Right.
Let me make this space a bit bigger so I can deal with you. But that's so nakakatawa because my office gets bigger and smaller.
Depending on how you feel.
Depending on how I feel or depending on what I'm going through or depending on what resources I recognize that I have.
I think we had that conversation in Vietnam. We sat together and I was going through something and you were telling me about this doctor's office and I'm like, I really appreciated that conversation that there are parts of me that are, and this is so funny because I really go to you and I talk to you when I have these things and, it has nothing to do with, seniority in a company or how long have I been here and I'm teaching. Walang ganon. I go to you as a friend and tell you these things. And when you said that, it's like, whew, it's my doctor's office and all of those creatures in my brain. They're valid.
Yes.
Some probably need the attention now, some don't. And I guess it's the same thing with the noise and all the skepticism. Sometimes it's a battle you do not need to fight.
Yeah. Sometimes it's not even something that you really need to get into. Kasi, why are you going to put that energy there? You could be putting it somewhere else.
Yeah. So that's how you deal with the politics now. Just kidding.
This is me. Mark this. This is the truth bomb. If I'm gonna say something else about leadership, because so leadership always ask, what am I not seeing? You don't have to do everything. My other one is this: being a leader is not. It's not a level that you're supposed to reach. It's not like a game where level up, plus XP, whatever. It's a calling. And if you have to cling so much to that being a leader, if it's so important to you, then maybe you shouldn't have it. Because really, if it's so,
about the ego.
because it's about, kasi leader ako. Gusto ko maging leader.
God.
I want there to be that, gusto ko may special ganito. Gusto ko may ganyan. Gusto ko may ganyan. And for me, dude, then don't be a leader.
I was so inspired reading this book. I don't know if you've read it, but Yung Ego is the Enemy.
Oh, I haven't yet. Oh.
Please do. It's Ryan Holiday. Beautiful. Kasi he's talking about, parang some leaders want are leaders because of the ego. Na,
Yes.
acknowledge me. It was me. How did I help you in your growth? How did I
Yeah.
that's not the leader eh. Pero maiisip mo eh, so why are you doing this? Why is a leader doing this in the first place when it is not about them? Grabe ang philosophical question. If it's not about them, but you're the center of your universe, right? It has to go down beyond just the self and the ego we're in. It's not about me.
Yeah.
How do you always consciously take yourself out of that?
Yes.
Remember
Yeah.
the trust equation? If we talk about
Self-orientation.
the self-orientation,
Yeah.
that's it. Na parang when people know that it's really just all about you,
Then they'll lose interest and they won't trust.
Yeah.
I think that's why I love what I do, like as a facilitator, because I completely don't think of myself. It's not about me. It's literally not about me.
Yeah.
And so that's why when I'm in training, I love it because it's all about the people I'm talking to.
Yeah.
It's me going through my head and going, oh, what can I share? What can I share?
How can I help
How can I help this person? And when somebody brings up something that I can, na parang, oh my gosh, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Parang it makes me open to also receiving things from people. Because nga, if it's all about me, promise, if I thought about myself all the time in training, I'd be a wreck.
Yeah.
I'd be a wreck because I'd be like, oh my gosh, kamusta ang hair ko?
And I
Okay
think
ba
that's
ang
why
ano?
for people like us, training, the way we do, our work
Yeah.
is therapy.
Yes.
It's absolute therapy. Like, anything in my life is messy. Kunyari, kung may chaos dito. Pero once I'm in front of the audience, you help them.
Yeah.
You're connected. You get moments of laughter.
And this is my safe and happy place, actually. It's my safe and happy place because it's where I know what I'm doing. And hindi ako yung naka-spotlight. That's why I get really, really uncomfortable when there's intro. Our trainer for today, la la la. I'm always like, oh, God. I get so uncomfortable, but I know it's needed. It's just, hi, parang, go ahead. So, shh. Okay na? I'll talk na. But yeah, so I think it's that. I think if you cling so much to needing that validation of the power, I don't know. Maybe you have to ask yourself, what about leadership is making it so important to me?
Maybe it's one of their needs.
Yeah.
Like if you think, is it really because of relationship connection, significance making a difference? What is it really?
What is it? Is it power? Is it control?
Yeah.
Is it autonomy? Because you don't have any control over anything else, so you need this position to control. And I really, really love leaders who are able to step back and look at that for themselves.
Yeah.
And mahirap kasi yung leader na, basta ako yung leader, bahala kayo dyan. And it's like, okay, if that makes you happy. But yeah, I think leadership, yes, there are many pains, and this is why it is an honor to become a leader. It's such an honor to have people allow you to lead them.
Yeah. The permission.
The permission that they, kasi parang, imagine kung leader ka, I watched this TikTok where this guy's in a bus and he starts singing Britney Spears, hoping that people will sing with him. So he goes in and goes, my loneliness is killing me. And he waits for somebody in the bus to say, and there are some very cringe-worthy places where nobody says anything. And he's like, but he keeps on going, hoping someone will, Pero yun nga, parang ako, obviously, he hasn't gotten them to follow happily. So I think it's the same thing. If you're a leader and there are people who are resisting, then you always have to wonder, what is it about my impact that's not making them feel safe enough for them to follow me? It's also that. And I think that's the other thing. That's the other side naman. Na not all leaders will readily admit.
That's right.
Or they'll say, sila kasi, ayaw nila sumunod eh. And you're kind of like, well, have you ever thought why? May ganyan kang gustong sabihin sa kanila, but you know, you have to go, well, sir, maybe they don't feel safe yet. But you don't tell them, kasi baka hindi ka, you don't make them feel safe. We don't say that. But you kind of hope that they get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if any of you are leaders out there watching this, think about it.
It's
Really?
not easy. It's not
It's
easy.
not.
Circling back to what we were talking about from the very beginning,
Yeah.
it's about all the noise, the skepticism. Bottom line is, it's all about trust. People are skeptics because they do not trust what is happening in the environment, what's happening, in the organization, how you think, So there's that judgment. If the brain now goes there, always, a leader has that permission to accept na, okay, that's part of it.
Yeah.
I'm overwhelmed. Yeah, if you're not okay, you need to be able to take care of yourself as a leader. And probably open up that conversation with people. What is a good way to bridge that? You said a while ago na, what am I not seeing? Maybe help me.
Yeah.
Any other ways that you'd like to give, as an advice for leaders in general when it comes to bridging that trust with their people?
I think leaders always have to ask themselves, do my people feel safe with me? And if they don't yet, how can I make that happen? And sometimes they have to do it by finding out whom they do feel safe with, and maybe have an alliance with that person. Or maybe ask that person, hey, they seem to feel safe with you. Can you tell me how you do it? To have that kind of humility, to be able to see.
Nice.
And feeling safe does not mean we're best friends.
And hindi mo yung baby.
It's not. It's not. And it's not, okay, let me give you the day off.
you need.
Let me give you. It's really understanding. Do these people feel that they are safe with me? That they know I will not hurt them?
They can
That
depend
know.
on me?
Yeah. That they can depend on me. Kasi and that will build the trust. Kasi pwede, I can just say, find out why they don't trust you. That's a big ball of everything.
Oh, yeah.
Balik sa safety. It's like that thing that I read.
For example,
like,
there are many times that I have failed you, but it doesn't mean that if a leader has failed you, your people will now feel unsafe.
Yeah, not necessarily.
Okay.
No, because
Kasi matatakot yung ibang leader na to make them feel safe, I cannot make a mistake.
Right, exactly. But see, the irony is being able to admit a mistake is actually something that can help. No, it can. Because if someone can never admit that they're wrong, hello, certain president of a certain country. But if they I'm not naming names. But if they
advice. If you were to talk to him, your advice
or
is
her, I'm not saying anything. But no, but yeah, I mean, it's if you actually have that humility, and it's a true humility. Now, hey, you know what? I was wrong about this one. It makes people go, wow, they feel they are humility enough, humble enough to actually say this. The reason with us is, and yes, we've failed each other before, but the point is we have a good trust account. And the idea of the trust account is you have to build it. It's like any deposit, right? You keep on investing, you put into it. It's not gonna magically happen. It's like, oh yay, we have trust, wee! But it's about what am I putting into this connection, relationship, whatever, that makes the trust account richer or bigger, whatever we want to use. So with us, because we've known each other for so long and we know each other so well, if let's say we fail each other, we're kind of like, no, it's okay. But I know she'll bounce back because I've known her for this long. Yeah. Or medyo may withdrawal, pero meron pa, marami pang pondo. Okay pa yan. Yeah. So it's that. And so as a leader, if you feel wala pang laman yung trust account, you have to keep on putting that in. And sometimes that means admitting a mistake. Or sometimes that means, just showing up.
Yeah.
Or simply asking them, oh, kumusta ka na? Very, very basic. You don't need to talk to them for a long time, but just show them that you're there. Or, hey, you know what? I see you, ha? May nakita ko, you're getting better. Even a little thing like that. It's not about being best friends, but it's about showing somebody that, you know what? I'm not gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna,
And I think, okay, magandang dynamics. So, kasi like, a lot of leaders think, kailangan best friend niya lahat ng tao niya, alam niya lahat na nangyayari sa buhay ng tao niya, di ba? Para may trust. Sure, may bearing yon, but I can actually say that you're closer, you have a closer relationship with my husband than me. But the thing is, I can look you in the eye and say, I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if anyone will say something about you, I've got you.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people, when it comes to leaders, kasi, I think magandang example yun na, then don't talk about your people. You know, I mean, that's a good way to make your people feel safe.
One of the things that I read recently and I really resonated with it is work for people or be with people who will defend you in rooms that you're not in.
Yep.
I love that. Because it's knowing that even if you're not there to stand up for it, you know that person will.
Yep.
So
I've had a conversation like that in the past, and
diba?
Got it.
So it's that. It's knowing that. And that's a very major trust deposit right there. I've experienced it here. I have previous supervisors or managers from other companies that I still remember. You know who you are. That I still remember that I know that they're that person. So I think it's that kind of consistency of, something. I mean, they don't have to be best friends for that. Mm-hmm. You just know, you know what, my manager, my leader, he stands up for me. Or even he stands up for this group. Or he stands up for this, for this department. Because, I've heard of companies where the leaders are they themselves saying, we're not going anywhere. So people working are like, what the heck? Why is he our leader? So even, that.
Alam mo yung conversation natin ng out of habit. Dami kasi tayong habits na either, judgment, yung isang leader, tapos yung judgment na yan, isi-share niya sa iba. And yung judgment na yun is about other people. I think that adds to the noise. If a leader does not also know how to filter through all of the noise, then every noise will be just as loud and it's not going to help the leader. So a step back to this would be, what I learned from this conversation is a couple of habits a leader can have would be to pause muna. Sure, we judge, but give yourself that permission and say, what am I not seeing?
Yep.
Okay. Now, the other one is a habit of showing up and thinking of how to make your people feel safe. Not necessarily babying them.
Yep. Or be their best friend. No, that's not it.
But to have conversations that do not put your people down.
Yeah.
You do no harm.
Yep.
In what you say about your people, to your people.
Yeah.
Thank you. I love that. And siguro, the last one is that humility. To acknowledge, what if I'm wrong? Merong word si Ryan Holiday from Ego is the Enemy na. He says confident humility. It's a combination of the two.
Yeah.
Because the leader has to have the confidence also.
Definitely.
I can do this. But at the same time, have the humility.
Yeah.
To accept that I don't know everything.
Yeah.
And it's beyond me.
I think it's letting go of always wanting to be right. There's that thing. There's diba?
That's tough.
That I know. And I know people who can't.
Yeah.
Even me. I diba? It's hard. But it's about realizing sometimes, okay, do I want to be right? or do I want to have a good day? I've had to ask myself that. I've had to ask myself that. Sometimes I'm like, okay, do I really want to fight for this? Do I want to be right? And will being right make me have a good day? Or, sige, I'm not going to be right, or maybe I don't have to win, or I have to, but I'll have a good day.
Yeah. Okay.
And diba? So parang you're like, oh, yeah, no, I don't need to be right to have a good day. It's not easy for a lot of people, especially for people who are so used to being right. What's the worst thing that could happen? You're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And then?
I love that. The habit of saying, and then what?
Yeah. Like, okay, and sometimes you ask yourself, so what if I'm wrong? Or what happens? Then I will cringe a little bit. I'll learn from it. Moving on. Diba? Kasi parang sometimes people are fighting so hard against something because they are afraid that something will happen kung ganon.
Yeah.
But yeah, what if so? What if you're wrong?
So right. Important.
I know.
But then other people will not really let that go. And that's why we have wars.
Mm-hmm.
So, we do a lot of things out of habit. And if today's conversation helped you as a leader, as a person, as a human being, please do share. Tell your friends about this. Like and subscribe. And maybe we would see you in our face-to-face trainings or see you again in our next episode. So, thank you, Glory, for this.
Thank you.